Francis Fearneley was born in 1918 on the island of Bermuda, the eldest child of Ellis and Iris Fearneley. He was named after his paternal grandfather, known to family simply as Frank, a man whose character and legacy would echo through the generations. At the time of Francis's birth, his father, Ellis Fearneley, was serving as a sergeant in the Royal Marines. Ellis had enlisted in 1906 and was stationed in Bermuda for some time. It was there he met and married Iris in 1917. A few years later, in 1922, seeking new opportunities in a post-war world, the family emigrated to Canada and settled in the small town of East Angus, nestled in the province of Quebec. Francis would spend his formative years there. Ellis hailed originally from England, having grown up with his parents and siblings in Salford, Lancashire. His father, Francis's namesake, was a man of letters and strong opinions. Also known as Frank, was a journalist and newspaper proprietor who, in 1885, was charged with publishing a defamatory libel in the Kidderminster Sun, a paper he owned. The article at the centre of the case criticised the treatment of a young girl who had tragically died after being transferred from an infirmary to a workhouse. Thankfully, Frank was found not guilty, and not long after, he moved his family back north to Lancashire, where they settled in Salford. He continued to write and publish, and one of his literary works, The Lyrics of Life, first published in 1878, can still be found today. Frank Jr. came of age in a Canada reshaped by immigration and wartime duty. When the Second World War broke out, he enlisted in the Royal Canadian Air Force, training as a navigator, one of the most demanding and essential roles in the bomber crews. In 1943, he was assigned to the 1659 Heavy Conversion Unit, HCU, a specialised training group based in Yorkshire. The HCU was responsible for preparing airmen for the transition from medium bombers to the heavy four-engine aircraft used in Bomber Command, in this case, the Handley Page Halifax. The Halifax was a cornerstone of Allied bombing operations. Sturdy and powerful, it required a well-trained crew to manage its complexity. HCU, based at RAF Topcliffe and RAF Leeming, played a vital role in preparing crews for frontline missions, and was itself occasionally involved in operational flights. On 12th of November 1943, Halifax 326 departed on a daytime transit. The aircraft experienced technical trouble and made a precautionary landing at RAF Halfpenny Green, formerly known as RAF Bobbington. A brief inspection revealed no major faults, and with what appeared to be an urgent timetable, the crew chose not to wait for a more thorough examination. It proved to be a fatal decision. Soon after taking off again, the aircraft encountered further engine trouble. One of its engines began emitting thick black smoke almost immediately after becoming airborne. The Halifax lost altitude rapidly, clipped trees with its starboard wing, and crashed in a wooded copse on the edge of a farm near the village of Bobbington. The plane exploded upon impact, killing all aboard instantly, except for the rear gunner, T.M. Murdoch, who was thrown clear of the wreckage. Though badly injured, Murdoch was taken to RAF Hospital Cosford and survived, eventually returning to Canada in March 1945. Frank Jr. was just 25 years old. He is buried far from the Canadian town he had called home. His final resting place is with his grandfather Thomas Francis, Frank Sr., and other family members in the burial ground of St. John's Church, Pendlebury, Salford. This family grave includes a Commonwealth War Grave headstone bearing the Latin-inspired motto of the Royal Air Force, "Through adversity to the stars," a fitting tribute to a young man who crossed oceans, faced war, and gave his life. His story, like many of his generation, is one of duty and courage,